All right, y'all, welcome to video number 31. We're going to be continuing on with this concept of digestion. And this was the second thought that occurred to me when the first thought triggered the whole idea of these couple videos I'm making. And that is, as we were talking about yesterday, there's the physical digestion, which is food, and then you do have the mental and or physical digestion, which is information that we read, things that we see, and how we bring this information in. Food is information. We bring this information in, we break it down to its smallest components, and then we accept the nourishment that is available and reject that which is not nourishment. Easiest way of looking at it. Now, when it comes to a lot of these, we don't have any choice on what we accept or not, because you do accept things that are poison. Clearly, you can ingest something and your body will accept it, and there's nothing you can do about that. But there is clearly a sorting process that happens within the body, just as there is a sorting process that happens in your mind and in your, let's say, just easier to call it soul. That's what most people think. Mind, body, soul. It's the easiest way to just keep it real basic. Whether you believe in one or not, or if you believe your soul is outside of this created space that we live within, it's sort of irrelevant. And this sorting process is critical to understand that when we have a choice, we must choose. And when we don't have a choice, we need to be careful. And even if we do have a choice, you need to be careful on what we ingest. I'm already about to ramble. That's because I just got off work a little while ago. It was a very long day. I'm very tired, but I'm really motivated to try and keep pushing forward and making more videos than I have been lately. Every time I'm tired, I just stop. I mean, you can see I haven't shaven in a while. I work 12-hour day. I got like 30,000 steps in at work today, so I'm kind of beat. Back to digestion. And this is going to come from the Bible. We have two stories. You have the story of Adam and Eve and the story of Noah. Now, I know a lot of folks don't like what I have to say about this. And a lot of times, information that we need to understand, whether we follow it or not, again, we have a choice. But I think at least knowing this is important. So, in the story of Adam and Eve, there are two major base stories where that story was derived from. And one is about the Anunnaki or Anuna, whatever you want to call them, whether they're gods or people. I personally believe they were people who enslaved another group of humanity, the Adamu. And then someone gave them information and allowed them to escape. This became the serpent. Their captivity area was the Garden of Eden. I do believe they even had enclosures that were called Edens. But there's this component where the people who wrote the story in the Bible added the creation myth on top of this. And they said that human beings were created to eat plants from the plants. Again, I know no one wants to hear about it. It's amazing. Only the Seventh-day Adventists follow this. Every other Judeo-Christian does not. Because their angels and demons are much happier with them by following what happens later in the Bible. But the Seventh-day Adventists still follow the principle that human beings were created to eat from the plants. And then once the earth was destroyed, human beings were given permission to eat from meat. But it was only because the earth was destroyed. So the other story, the first one was the captivity with the Anunnaki. The other story talks about the destruction of the earth and how a group of people believed they were the sole survivors of this massive cataclysm, from which we have evidence today. Second line in the Bible refers to this cataclysm. God hovered over the face of the deep. God hovered over the face of destruction, referring to a second creation, which is kind of why there is two creation myths in the Bible. The story goes through creation twice, because literally the earth was created, then destroyed, and then life had to be replenished on the face of the earth again. So this destruction of the earth, this is a critical component that brings this eating of the plants together with the story. And that was during this time, we have really good evidence that the earth was flourishing. Very high levels of carbon dioxide and very high levels of oxygen. Everything was nutrient rich. Everything was. This was Eden. This was paradise. This is where humanity came from. And this probably happened about 6,000 years ago, this destruction. And the evidence is still visible today. Down in Antarctica, they have all those frozen fruit trees that literally still have fruit. In the Arctic, they have, what are they, the woolly mammoths that still have grass with daisies and little flowers still in their mouth from when they were frozen alive, flash frozen. Massive cataclysm happened. And the Garden of Eden was destroyed. It's referred to the megaflora and the megafauna. Now, some folks will say it's a long time ago, but again, this arguably happened only 6,000 years ago. So when you couple the story of human flourishing happens when we're in this garden environment, and then when destruction happens and there's starvation and deprivation, we live in an environment in which the plants are no longer available and we're forced to feed upon living beings. And you see the information that you are digesting when you choose to eat from a plant source versus an animal source. And your body knows. This is one of those things you don't get to choose. You eat plant-based, fresh food. Your body thinks you are in an Eden. Your body believes the earth is flourishing. Fresh fruit is readily available. You are flourishing. Low stress. You choose to eat from animal sources. Your body believes the earth has been destroyed. We're in a place where it's survival of the fittest. You hear a lot of people believe, oh, we live in a place of survival of the fittest. No, that's the information you're ingesting. Your body is being programmed from the information that you bring into your body, so it understands where it is. The food you ingest informs your body of where you are. That's why this eat local movement is actually a pretty cool idea. You should eat local, fresh and local as much as possible, because you're ingesting the information of the local environment. You're having this biological exchange on a microscopic level. And it's critical to the flourishing of your being, if that's important to you. Also makes you want to think about what happens when you eat chemicals, man-made chemicals, all these little crazy molecules they're trying to develop in the lab and call it food. What kind of information do you think your body's going to receive from this? It's probably going to be something like, where the hell are we? I don't understand. Are we lost? Are we on Earth? Is this a place I belong? Am I a being that even fits to where I am right now? Because I don't understand what this is. So perhaps the fact that those types of feelings, coupled with this dog eat dog, survival of the fittest mentality, how these things are setting in large part, it is to the choice that we make every day on what we consume, on what we digest, and that information that we exchange with our environment. Like I was saying yesterday, the physicists are coming around to everything in this world is information. What we call the Father. It's the consciousness of God. That is this creation. You can call it the Matrix. I genuinely believe this is a construction of consciousness. But this body, our avatar, lives within this creation. It is built and designed to function within this creation. And it exchanges information through the ingestion of our food and the choices that we make. A little food for thought, my friends. I do hope more people choose flourishing. In the end, I don't know if it really matters. I don't think there's a kind of judgment as far as like group judgment goes. Other than, well, there probably is, but that's a different story. We'll get to that someday. But I think we're going to leave it there. No, that reminds me. I do want to say one more thing. I used to watch this doctor. I'm drawing a blank on his name at the moment, but he talks about this Canadian research paper where they followed a group of wolves to examine the kills that they had made. And something like 80% had some sort of biological, neurological, they were ill. They were not well. And we all know that the animals, the carnivores, when they hunt other animals, they're after the old, the young, and the feeble, either injured or some other kind of metabolic disorder, something along these lines. What they're doing is thinning the herd and improving the biological makeup of the herd. They're making the herd stronger. You see, we view the predation because we fear that violent act. But that violent act, in a way, in a symbiotic way, makes the animals as a whole much stronger. Now, when you take a human being who is a fruit eater, well, we're a starchivore, but we have the mindset of someone who sees color and size and shape, and we judge that for health and fitness. Because you see, the nutritional value of plant-based food is based upon size and color and shape. Pretty food is usually, if it's not poisonous, more nutritious. But you see, when you're eating animals, it doesn't matter. Protein is quite literally protein. There's no more nutritious portion than another, outside of like the organs and whatnot, but you know what I'm saying. If you ate from a sick cow or a healthy cow, that ribeye is going to be a ribeye, and literally no nutritional distinction between the two. But when you hunt these animals with this mindset of someone who is meant to be in a flourishing environment where we seek out ripe fruit, we take the biggest and the strongest, the most beautiful animals, and this weakens the genetic pool of these animals. We weaken their population. We endanger their species because we only leave the ill, the malformed. You see, because of the way we receive and exchange information, changes the way you see the world and the way you behave in this world in ways you just don't understand or think about. And it can have absolutely catastrophic effects on all living beings in this place that we share. We're going to leave it there. Until the next one, hopefully tomorrow, I'll see you there, my friends.